Assume that it's winter time and you are wearing a blanket and you are feeling very cozy. Now the weather changes, now it is summer. Now can you wear the same blanket again? The answer is no. Something which was very cozy in winter time is not comfortable in the summer time. This is something happening with respect to the greenhouse gases. By the time this video will end, you will understand what exactly is the meaning of these 7 greenhouse gases, how they are impacting the environment, what are the problems that they are creating, how we can calculate in reference to CO2, and what can be done with respect to that. Now, when we talk about greenhouse gases, it's an invisible layer which is there somewhere up, and they are helping us to make sure that whenever sunlight is coming and the energy is coming, when it's reflecting back from the earth, so they are controlling what needs to go out and what should remain there. Because at the moment it is being considered that the earth temperature is around 15 degrees, and in case this layer is not there, that invisible layer of greenhouse is not there, then the temperature of earth will become minus 18 degree. It means it is not possible to live. So in a way, these greenhouse gases are playing a very important role, but it is generally said that anything which is more can create some problem. Say for example, maybe you like some sugar in your tea or milk, but if we increase the quantity of sugar, so maybe at that time you may not like it because the taste will go away. Something similar is happening with these greenhouse gases. On one side, they are playing a very important role for our livelihood, but as the percentage is increasing, it is creating a lot of problems. So there are 3 key reasons why we need these greenhouse gases. The first thing is it helps to trap the heat. It does not allow the entire heat to go back to the atmosphere. Then the second important thing is to maintain the earth temperature. As I said that we need a temperature of around 15 degrees. And the third important thing is it supports the climate balance because it helps to regulate the climate by balancing the heat energy which is coming from and it is going back. Now that brings another interesting question, that which are these gases? So there are seven greenhouse gases which are contributing mainly with respect to the global warming and the climate change. So let's understand them one by one. The first one is CO2, carbon dioxide. And now what has been done is that to have an understanding about that how all these 7 gases are impacting, there is a unit which has been given to calculate, to make a reference of that. That unit is called GWP. It's called global warming potential. And CO2 has been made as a benchmark. So it is being considered as 1 GWP. Now the second gas we talk about is CH4, that is methane. Now methane is coming because of agriculture, landfills and the gas leakage. So in comparison to 1 unit of which is considered to be for CO2, when we consider with respect to CH4 or methane, it is 25. So it means 25 times more it is stopping the heat and not allowing it to go up. So that shows how much dangerous CH4 is. The third one is nitrous oxide, N2O. It is happening because of fertilizers, burning fossil fuel, and the contribution is 300. So it means 300 times it is stopping the hot airs to go up. The fourth one is water vapor, which is H2O, which is a natural evaporation. And the fifth one is ozone, which is O3. And it is happening because of pollution, sunlight reflection, and its impact is moderate. But then the last 2 are coming, which is generally considered to be man-made and makes the most important impact. That is hydrofluorocarbon, which is called HFC. And it is happening because of the cooling system, which are man-made, like refrigerants, air conditioning, aerosol propellant and all that. When we talk about in terms of GWP, its contribution is from 124 to 12,500. So you can imagine the percentage of heat which they are stopping and not allowing to go up. And the last one is PFC, which is called perfluorocarbon, and SF6, which is sulfur hexafluoride. Now when we talk about PFC, primarily it is coming out because of aluminum production, semiconductor manufacturing, and when we talk about SF6, it is happening because of electrical insulation, circuit breakers, magnesium processing and all that. Now all those things are important, but if we see in terms of GWP, their contribution. So PFC contributes approximately 6,500 to 11,000. And when we talk about SF6, its contribution goes as high as 23,500. So you can understand that how much dangerous they are with respect to our environment. Now that brings another important question, that what exactly is this 7 gases doing and why they are creating problem. Now, as I said earlier, that there is an invisible layer which is helping that the gases, all the heat and gases should not go up and they should remain inside. And if we talk with respect to the pre-industrial revolution, at that time the thickness was around 280 ppm. But with this industrialization and so many good things happening to all of us and all the luxurious life that we are living, now the thickness has increased to 420. So it means almost 50% that thickness has increased from 1750, from where we started calculating the data, till 2025. So because of this 50% additional thickness, it is something like this, that in winter we are having a one blanket and we are feeling cozy, but we have one more blanket. So at that time we may start sweating. Something similar is happening with respect to these gases. Even though they are good, but since their percentage is increasing, they are creating problem. So that brings another important question, that how they are impacting it and how long they are impacting it. So if we see gas by gas, considering CO2, so generally if we talk about CO2, it remains for hundreds of years. But when we talk about methane, it remains for approximately 12 years. So it means whatever is going up, it's not going up. It remains somewhere in the globe for 12 years. When we talk about N2O, it remains for 114 years. And then when we talk about H2O and O3, so they remain for a short time and then after that they go away. But when we talk about HFC, they remain for 15 to 29 years. And the most dangerous, when we talk about PFC and SF6, they remain for thousands of years. So you can understand that whatever pollution we are doing today, we have to face the consequences for thousands of years. So it's all up to us what we can do. That brings another interesting question, what to do now? The most important factor is how we can reduce this thickness, which has gone from 280 ppm to 420 ppm. And when we use other means, say for example electric vehicle, when we use sunlight, when we are doing many other things, then they help us that whatever gases that we are emitting, which has increased the earth temperature by 1.5 degree, and which is resulting into all the climate change and all those things that we are facing, that can help in the coming years. So if I do a summary, I talked about the 7 key gases which are good for the environment, good for the earth, but the excess is creating problem. Then I talked about the thickness, which has increased from 280 ppm to 420 ppm. Then I talked about in terms of GWP, that how they are contributing, with the baseline is CO2, and then the maximum is coming out from HFC and SF6, and then what kind of impact it is having on the environment. My next video will again be with respect to the environment and greenhouse gases. Regularly, I'm getting a lot of feedback from your side and they're helping me to understand your expectation. So please do continue that. In case you want to understand more about this particular video, you'll find a link below. If you click that, you'll find a blog there. There you find this information in much more detail. And in case you're liking these kind of blogs and videos, you can always share with your friends and colleagues, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website bhavyamangla.com. I have another channel called Life Lessons with Bhavya Mangla. In case you want to know a little bit more about life, you can subscribe and you can go through that channel too. Thank you.